minimal.
And like in what form mainly? Like radio or ads or newspaper?
Mostly Walter Walter what is his name? I can't pronounce it. Okay, can that one. It was, we had like three news stations, okay? So you got your news from ABC, NBC, or CBS at night, and the newspaper.
Alright. In the newspaper. What was the role of the media in the first election you voted in? The role of the media, like the first time you voted, like did the media affect your decision or?
No, the media didn't affect my decision. The role of the media was really to present the candidates as they were, not to try to make them into something that they wanted them to be.
Alright, I'm writing that down. Alright.
You know what I'm talking about? Because between 1960 and 2016, as they painted and portrayed people so differently over the years, their biases began to show in journalism a lot more over the years.
That's good.
You know what I'm talking about?
Definitely. No, you're talking about half of my classes are how bad and biased it is now.
Yeah, it's all about the bias. And in 1960, with Kennedy, some people didn't want him because he was Catholic. That's how bad it got. Oh yeah, he was Catholic, and it wasn't like what they tried to portray. And Trump, right now, the general media is just so biased. You can't get on a story unless you look for it on the internet.
Do you use the internet now for your media coverage of elections, or do you still use the use internet? All right.
Totally.
All right, so this is about the radio more. What do you remember your experience with the radio as it played into elections, or your experience with the radio in general, like as a kid?
As the radio played into it, no, because I was like 8 years old when we got our first TV set.
Okay.
So I really got my news as a teenager. If it wasn't on the Mickey Mouse Club, it was just on the nightly news. But the journalists reported the news as it occurred generally, not as they wished to project their biased feelings on back then.
Alright. We can skip the radio part. What was it? So you had a TV 8. What was it like when you first became available to you? Versus what was it like when the internet first became available to you?
What was it like when the internet first became available?
What was it like when the TV first came available to you versus when the internet first became available to you? Like the differences or similarities?
Oh. Well, by the time the internet became available, the media had become so much more slanted. So you really didn't get the news on the TV that you used to get, which was straightforward. So if you wanted to get straightforward news, you had to go to different places on the internet. In the years, like the internet, okay, so say the year 2000 or something, when the internet was starting to really get big, you could find a lot more unbiased reports on the internet than you could listening to TV news.
Oh, okay, I see it. Yeah. All right. What do you remember about the first like presidential commercial election ads? Like the old TV election ads versus TV election ads now.
Okay, what's that about?
Like what do you remember about the first TV commercial ads for the presidential elections? Like candidates ads?
Oh, wow. I remember the Kennedy ad with the Goldwater ad. That was the date with the daisy of the little girl. That we were going to have nuclear war.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Have you seen that one? If Goldwater was elected, or if Kennedy was?
I don't remember what it was for, but I've definitely seen that one in like one of my classes.
That was like worse than like to push Granny over the cliff. It was that was in 1960, I think, and it was about, I guess it was almost as equal to pushing Granny over the cliff, and the scare tactics. They still use scare tactics even in 1960. Because the daisy in her hand became extinct,
Yeah. Now it's just scare tactics of like the other candidate.
Yeah.
Alright. How did you feel like this election compared with other elections, like with on TV and stuff, and like the ads and the covering of the election?
Oh, this was so far different than any election coverage that there has ever been, because the media was just had a real hard time not trying to destroy Donald Trump.
Definitely.
I mean, the media, they had an agenda that their candidate would win, and in every way possible they continued to try to say things enough times, because they truly believe if they say things enough times, people will begin to believe it. I think that Donald Trump is probably a really nice person, but the media had an agenda because they're all tied in to the libs now. They're all liberals.
Definitely.
There's no media. There's no real
it's
media.
all just false and people's
personal They don't really. They just want their candidate Hillary to win, and they didn't want Donald Trump to win, and they really played into that and beat the crap out of him, trying to get him beat up. But fortunately, the majority of people in this country came to their senses and realized we're about to lose every freedom we ever fought for.
Yeah, definitely. All right, the last part's about new media. So what type of new technologies have like helped you consume media, or how has like the new technology changed how you consume media?
I get most of my media on the internet. I read things like the Drudge Report and Conservative News and other things. Fox News too, but there's a lot more on the internet that gives you unbiased news than on TV.
Has modern technology changed your views with presidential elections, or changed how you like approach presidential elections, or has it just influenced it, like, or more?
Has modern technology changed the way I look?
Like, how do you like before, like people would read about their candidate or something? Do you just go online and look for it now mainly, and just?
I guess it probably has. I guess this election probably has. Really awakened a lot of people to the fact that most media is not trustworthy. You can't believe 90% of what you hear on the TV.
All right, yeah, definitely.
I mean, remember, this was an awakening for me, this election, because when Mitt Romney came out and slammed Donald Trump as badly as he did and destroyed him. And I'm thinking, you're a Republican. You should be supporting the candidate, whoever the people of this country chose. And instead, he slammed him. At that time, I realized that the Republicans were as corrupt as the Democrats. And Donald Trump was the only chance this country had, because they were all corrupt.
All right. Anything else on the media or different technologies through what you've seen with the presidential election?
What was the first part of that?
Or anything else you want to add to it? Any part of it?
No, I think that for all of us, we just have to, listen to what they say and then try to verify through other news media what's going on, because one source, for instance, ABC, CBS, does not give you a fair and balanced look of what's happening. Yeah, you have to dig for other information on different sites and try to figure it out. You can't just get it off ABC,
Yeah.
It's not enough.
All right, thank you. I'm all out of questions.
You're done.
Yeah, I just gotta write this paper up now.
Well, if you missed anything or I need to answer anything else, send it to your mom and she can email it to me and I'll send it back to you.
All right, I will. Thank you very much.
Okay. I'm sorry I missed you. I'll talk to you later.
All right, love you. Bye.
I love you, John. Bye-bye.